Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be featuring the Ecoflow Glacier Classic. This is an awesome fridge that is super capable and very easy to maneuver and move around, unlike its predecessor. I still have the old Ecoflow fridge that has the ice maker and the wheels, and I love it to this day. It's a great product, but I think that fridge is more so useful when you're going somewhere where it's easy to roll around, whereas this fridge right here is more friendly when it comes to overlanding, camping, things of that nature. It's easy to stow because it doesn't have wheels. The weight is about the same between these two fridges. It's about 51 pounds. Just like the other fridge, this one has a removable battery. This is a 298 watt hour battery that will allow you to run this machine at 39 degrees for about 30 hours, which is really impressive. You can also plug solar into this, which I've done on many occasions, and I can just continuously run this fridge. We've been gone for 4 to 5 days in the past and just been able to run this fridge nonstop. So it's really nice that you don't have to pack ice and worry about it melting, and it just makes this whole process so much easier in keeping your items cold. Another really cool thing about this battery is it has a USB-C port. So a lot of times you're hanging around camp, you can plug in your phone and charge it, and that makes it really nice as well. The other really big improvement with this cooler is that you can open the top from either direction. This is kind of taken from the Iceco fridge that I own also, and it makes it really nice when you have this in the back of a truck and you have access to the side of that truck. You can open it from inside the truck or from outside the truck. That makes it really user-friendly, and I like this design. One thing I will note, however, is that when you open this, the way it's designed, you kind of pinch your fingers. I don't know if I just have really fat fingers, but that's one thing that I've noticed in comparison to, say, the Iceco. So maybe it's an update that they will do in the future. But overall, this thing works perfectly fine, and I really like how it opens both ways. Now, in terms of the dimensions of this unit, we're sitting at about 19 inches height, and we are 27 inches wide and about 15.5 inches long. So very comparable to the average size cooler that you'd see. One thing I'll note is that this I don't really care for. It doesn't stay up. I'm on pretty level ground here, so maybe it's just the way that I have it set up, but this particular one doesn't want to stay up for some reason. This has some really cool features in that it has lighting inside, so at night you can open this up and see what you're doing. Another really cool feature is that you have this built in. So you can use this as a cutting board if you want to with food, and if you don't want to use it, you can store it right here. And then you have full access to the fridge as one unit. Now you can run this fully as a freezer or a fridge. However, you can't just put the divider in and expect this to be a certain temperature and this to not. It just cools this whole space in general. One thing that's really cool also is that if you're getting food from your fridge to bring camping, you can pull this cage out and you can store that and then easily slide it in and you're good to go. So really cool in that respect. One other thing I really like is that this shows how long it's going to take to charge up. Whether you have solar or you're plugged into the grid, this will show how long. I was at 0 and now we are charging up. It says it'll take about 3 hours charging from the grid. But if you're using this with a vehicle or with solar, you can generally keep this maintained and keep it at a reasonable level. So it's not always going to take this long to charge up. Whereas the predecessor, it does show the percentage, but it doesn't show how long it's going to take to get there. We also see that it has an eco mode, so we can adjust this by clicking the setting button. We can go into max or eco mode, depending on how fast we want to cool down what's in the fridge. Now, in terms of power usage here, we are actively charging this battery on the older Ecoflow and running the compressor and keeping the items or contents in this fridge cool. And as you can see on our Ecoflow power station here, we're pulling 188 watts. Now let's swap it over to this one, plug it into our Ecoflow there, and see how many watts this one is pulling. Okay, so we've got the new fridge plugged into our Ecoflow again here, and now we're only showing 103 watts. So about an 80 watt difference. That's pretty substantial, almost half. So this is pulling significantly less, and again, This is actively running, super quiet, and it's charging our battery up. Another thing to note is that I just plugged this in probably 20 minutes ago and it's already down to temp. So this can cool off really fast. This one definitely took a little bit longer. So on our new fridge here, this is saying it'll run it for 16 hours at 103 watts. This is the Ecoflow Delta 2 Max. It is a 2000 watt hour battery. Now let's swap it over to the other fridge. Okay, so we're back to 173. Says we'll run for 10 hours. So that's a 6-hour difference based off of a 2000 watt hour battery. That's pretty substantial when you think about how much you want to run this during the day. So the combination of having a power station, having solar, having this battery that's in this is really invincible when you think about it. When there's not full sunlight, you can use this and this battery, or just using this to keep this topped off. And then as soon as the sun comes out, it'll be recharging this whole system. And I love the way they have this designed. It just makes it super sustainable and easy to use. Now, if you haven't seen Ecoflow's app, I think it has a really nice interface. All of these devices were really easy to connect. They auto-detected as long as they're powered on. So I just put up my Delta 2 Max, so that's off, as well as my generator. But these two are active, so I can go in and click on the Classic. I can see what temperature the fridge is actively at, what it's set for. What's really cool is I can go into settings here up on the top right, and I can turn off little things like the beeper if I don't like that. I can set a temperature alarm. So if this changes by 5 degrees, whether it goes up too high, or more than likely it'll go down 5 degrees because it's low on charge, this will send me a notification, making sure that whatever I have in the fridge is staying cold. And I also have car battery protection. So I can toggle this on and I can set it to whatever range. So this will tell me what voltages it will run to before it turns the fridge off, so as to keep my battery on my car charged. So that's a really nice feature. Probably the mid one is what I would select if I'm overlanding or camping or things of that nature. You can set charge and discharge limits, update the firmware. I can also put this into eco mode or max, depending on how quickly I need to get that food to temperature. And I can set child lock on so that nobody can come over here and press with this. So let me just show you how that works. I can turn child lock on. Now it shows up on the screen. There's a little lock signal. So now when I click on anything, nothing happens. And now as soon as I turn that back off, I can now hit this and adjust the settings, temperature, and you'll notice that that beep sound is gone. Well guys, if you're in the market for a portable fridge, the Ecoflow Glacier Classic should absolutely be a contender. Ecoflow offers a great product and I think you'd be really happy with this fridge. Now, if you're curious to see how the Ecoflow Delta Pro 3, which is a whole home backup power station, performed, you can find that video right here. And until next time, you guys be safe. Later.